This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
Yes, it's true. It's the final weekend of winter.
Girl, you know it's true.
It is a little bit on the chillier side this morning, but here's something that can hopefully warm you up. We're now less than 3 weeks away from opening day at the Diamond, the final one before the ballpark officially goes the way of New Coke and the Dodo. Hey, good Saturday.
Crystal Pepsi.
Good Saturday morning. I know. It is March 15th, the Ides of March. Yeah,
you saw in that shot of the Diamond, still the Do Portugal tent is still up there that goes through the rest of this weekend as well.
it's pulsating over there, man.
Yes, and we have tons of stuff going on. We have the Virginia Derby today. We have Shamrock the Block. We have the Churchill Irish Festival. A lot going on. Today, the weather should improve a little bit later today, but it's still going to be kind of gray, at least the first half of the day. Show you what's going on outside right now. There are some spots that have a little bit of haze and fog outside currently, but skies are mostly cloudy to overcast. And our sunrise for this morning is at 7:20. It'll set tonight at 7:17. Temperatures area-wide now are in the low to mid to upper 40s, so we're a couple degrees warmer than this point yesterday in some locations, especially off to the south and west. Still a lot of cloud cover to get through this morning. A little warm front's going to push northward as the day wears on. Now, the northern extent of that is still a question mark whether it's going to make it up past Route 64 today, but once that front moves farther northward, the clouds will get scoured out a little bit and will warm up. I'm going on the very cool side of the forecast for today. Highs in the metro in the low 60s. If that warm front passes by later this afternoon, 6 o'clock or so, we may get it close to 70 today. But based upon how the last few days have worked out, I'm going to go kind of on the cool side with hopes that it will be warmer. There will be a lot of severe weather to our south and west today. That storm system will impact us tomorrow into tomorrow night, and we could have some severe weather of our own. We'll talk about that coming up. Greg?
All right, Mike, thanks so much. Just at 6:02 right now. Henrico police are reporting slight increase in the number of rape cases they've investigated over the last couple of years. But those who work with victims say that increase could possibly point to something positive. Elizabeth Holmes explains.
We compared data from Richmond, Chesterfield, Hanover, and Henrico between 2023 and 2024. Richmond, Chesterfield, and Hanover saw a decrease in the number of rape cases police reported, 64 to 52 in Richmond, a 19% decrease, 87 to 62 in Chesterfield, a 28% decrease, 18 to 5 in Hanover, a 72% decrease. But the numbers in Henrico went up slightly, 20 to 24, a 20% increase.
As it pertains to rape, most of the time it's never really you have somebody, unknown individuals going around committing these offenses. Normally acquaintances, family members, things of that nature that are occurring.
Police say they're unable to identify trends or common causes linked to the increase.
Well, this sounds terrible to say. 24 is a low number. It's a low number, which obviously we want it to be 0, but 24 is a low number. There are way more cases of domestic violence and intimate partner violence and sexual violence.
Alexandria Wall works at Safe Harbor, which serves victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking in the county.
I would say we're almost always at capacity, and as soon as one leaves, I would say this same day or the next day someone enters, 100%.
Wall says their clients are not required to report to police. Abuse, fear, lack of safe housing, and even distrust in the legal system often keeps them from doing so.
Unfortunately, and I'll just say this as my personal opinion, I don't think they get the abusers get hard enough consequences, right? And sometimes, if police do show up, let's say a call happens, and you are willing to maybe share what happened in that day, but not everything else, they could maybe get arrested and bonded out that same evening.
Though the numbers may not paint the full picture of how many rape or sexual assault cases actually happen in Henrico or anywhere, Wall says the slight increase in cases reported in Henrico may be a sign that its support systems for victims are working, encouraging them to report.
And we know that Henrico does a very good job working with victims, and so I think that could truly play a role in people feeling comfortable knowing that they will follow through and they will help them and take their victimization seriously.
Wall said victims can always get help even without going to the police, so that shouldn't deter anyone from reaching out. You can call Safe Harbor at 804-249-9470. You can also call the domestic violence hotline at 800-799-7233. In Henrico, I'm Elizabeth Holmes, CBS 6 News.
It is 6:05 right now. An early morning crash on Interstate 95 in Colonial Heights. Backed traffic up for miles and for hours on Thursday. Some who live nearby and who drive that stretch of the highway say changes need to be made to reduce the number of crashes in that area. Senior reporter Wayne Koval is giving them a voice.
By mid-morning Thursday, more than 5 hours after this crash on Interstate 95 southbound near South Park Boulevard, traffic was still backed up as crews continued to clean up the debris, remove the tractor trailer, and take down a damaged overhead sign.
Looks like there was quite the fire there.
Bob Weber, who moved to the Colonial Heights area in 2018, believes this corridor of Interstate 95 between Colonial Heights and Petersburg is the scene of too many crashes.
I think that looks like some major re-engineering in how the traffic flows through this whole area, yes.
Kathleen Dibble has lived in Colonial Heights since 1990 when she heard about Thursday morning's wreck.
I knew exactly where it was.
Dibble agrees this section of interstate seems to have more than its share of crashes.
Because it happens all the time in that same spot.
It was just after 4 o'clock Thursday morning when Virginia State Police say the tractor-trailer driver ran off the road, taking out a section of guardrail and damaging an overhead sign. Some say it's this section of southbound I-95 where merging traffic converges is part of the issue.
You have people getting off South Park Boulevard trying to get on 95 South, then you have people trying to get over to the right to get on 85.
It gets pretty crowded with the traffic that takes off to 85 here, and there's a lot of times where people are crisscrossing lanes and just a lot of close calls.
Those vehicles trying to get on Interstate 85, which is 1 mile away, Dibble believes some drivers think there's only one exit lane.
It goes into 2 lanes when you get off 85 right there, but people don't know that. Everybody gets over into 1 lane.
Both Dibble and Weber believe more signage and better signage could help drivers who are trying to merge to I-85. Dibble also would like to see signage painted on the roads to alert drivers that there are 2 lanes to get over to I-85. VDOT tells me there is already a road improvement project in the works to extend the auxiliary lanes just north of where the crash occurred. In Colonial Heights, Wayne Koval, CBS 6 News.
It is 6:08 right now. An event in Richmond gave local artists from every walk of life a platform to stand on. Hosted by the Good Foods Grocery and Commonwealth Autism, the 2 organizations kicked off their latest art exhibit. One new featured artist is Mike Hobbenstock, a painter based in Glen Allen. Hobbenstock's still life paintings often feature fruits and vegetables and flowers, perfect for any home setting. And this man creates right here in front of the green screen, or 9-mon, as we call it. You eat your veggies and fruits, don't you?
Well, I try to.
That's why you're so big and tall and strong.
There's a lot of chocolate and ice cream in there as well. That's why I don't have any washboard abs.
Variety is the spice of life.
It is. Moderation. Hey, we're starting off again with some low clouds and some fog, even some drizzle outside this morning. Should get at least a little bit warmer today. Tomorrow's going to be a lot warmer when we could have some severe weather, so we're going to talk about that coming up next.
Hanging out with you is like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, Michael, isn't it?
Augustus, you must save room for later.
We are going now to Seattle. They know a thing about rain and coffee and technology with a Space Needle.
The Virginia Derby is today.
So cute, isn't it?
Horsey's just hanging out in the backyard. Do you know, very happy out back. We feed him very nicely. But do you ever think he has thoughts of maybe doing something grander with his life? I don't know. If only we could just ask him.
You know who's going to be in the show a little bit later with Antoinette?
It's going to be Parney.
It's Parney. And we're trying to think of what he's going to be wearing. Wonder if it's going to be a jockey.
We're trying to fit him into jodhpurs as we speak. But, you know, we did mention the Virginia Derby is today, and the forecast there, we'll see the clouds breaking up a little bit as we go throughout the afternoon, and temperatures should make it into at least the low to mid 60s today. There is the potential to get up to around 70 if a warm front moves farther north as the day progresses. So we'll talk about that in a second. But we have some low clouds and fog outside, even a little bit of drizzle here across the metro. It's 44 at the airport right now. Temperature matches the dew point, and that gives us 100% humidity. Winds are pretty light, so that's why we have the fog outside this morning, reducing visibility in some areas to near a mile or less. It's down to 3/4 of a mile in Danville and also Emporia. And temperatures are pretty uniform, which is kind of in the low and mid 40s for most of the area currently. There's this front that's been sitting off to our west the past couple days, and it has just been chilly for Thursday and Friday. This front is supposed to lift northward later today. If it makes it up to I-64 points northward, we could get in the 70s in the metro today, but this front is taking its sweet time. So our forecast is on the very kind of pessimistic, cooler side with hopes that it will be warmer. I'd rather put out like a 62 for a high and it be 70 versus the other way around. But that's the potential if that warm front wiggles far enough northward. Look to our west, though. There are multiple tornado watches from parts of Indiana and Ohio down through Kentucky, Tennessee, and the Deep South. They have a high risk of severe weather during the day today into tonight, especially Mississippi and Alabama. And the tornado threat there is high as well. We could have multiple tornadoes that stay on the ground quite a long time, some long track tornadoes. But as that system gets here tomorrow, it won't be quite as violent, but we'll still have the threat for a little severe weather our own selves. We have clouds outside right now. There will be a few more clouds coming in from the west during the day. And as we take you through the day hour by hour, again, we kind of program this to be cooler. So temperatures getting up into the upper 50s and low 60s later on this afternoon. There's a potential south of Richmond that we could get into the 70s if the clouds break up and that warm front comes far enough north. We'll stay in the upper 50s and low 60s overnight tonight. Tomorrow will be a couple showers possible in the morning, mostly west of I-95. Then the chance of rain starts going up in the afternoon. We'll have highs getting into the 70s. And then we're expecting a couple of lines of some possibly severe thunderstorms coming through later tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. They will have some heavy rain with them, and we run a slight risk. That's level 2 out of 5 of severe thunderstorms for tomorrow. We'll have some heavy rain. Some of these storms could have some damaging wind gusts and some large hail. The tornado threat is not zero, but we actually could have a few isolated tornadoes later tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So we're going to talk a lot more about that over the next 24 hours. Some 60s today with the potential to getting a little bit warmer. Some 70s tomorrow with that severe threat. Morning showers Monday giving way to sun. Some nice weather into midweek. Chance of a couple showers Thursday, and then a lot cooler on Friday.
I'm Antoinette Essa here at St. Patrick's Catholic Church. This is the hub for the Churchill Irish Festival. Then down in Scott's Addition is Shamrock the Block. These two big festivals are happening this weekend, and they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I have all the details coming up.
It is 6:18. Welcome back. This weekend, the city coming alive with not just one, but two massive celebrations of Irish culture. Antoinette Essa has all the McDeets you need to know about in the Churchill Irish Fest and Shamrock the Block.
Well, Patrick Henry was over there. He was my cousin.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Patrick Henry is your cousin?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How did you
He doesn't know me, but we are cousins going way back.
Really?
Yeah.
But everyone knows Stokes McCune. He's the head leprechaun for the Churchill Irish Festival, an event run by volunteers for the community.
This is an Irish Heritage Festival. So the church was built by the Irish here in Richmond back in the 1850s, and we've tried to keep the traditions alive. We have Irish music, Irish beer, we have Irish dancers, Irish clothing and Celtic clothing, and vendors like that making that. So we just keep it traditional.
And don't forget about the food. Over 1,000 pounds of Irish surprise.
So it's corned beef and cabbage. I can't tell you everything that's in it because it's a big secret, but it's delicious.
Not only does the festival celebrate Irish culture, it supports local organizations like the Churchill Boys and Girls Club and St. Patrick's Catholic Church. And no need to worry about parking.
We have 16th and East Broad Street. We have shuttles running from there both days. And we also have parking down at 200 Orleans Street down near Rockets Landing, bringing folks up too.
What will happen if it does rain?
We'll get wet.
So rain or shine, you can catch the 39th annual Almost Churchill Irish Festival Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 6 at St. Patrick's Catholic Church on North 25th and Broad Streets. There's another big Irish celebration in Scott's Addition. Is the 19th annual Shamrock the Block on Lee Street between Movie Land and Midtown Green. This free outdoor festival also has live music, food, vendors, and plenty of drink options. Plus, the event benefits Project Local, a nonprofit that supports small foundations and charities in the Richmond area. Shamrock the Block kicks off noon on Saturday. And join us Saturday morning for the Road to the Kentucky Derby, Virginia Derby. We're live in New Kent at Colonial Downs. Gates open at 10:30 and post time is at noon. I'll see you Saturday for Derby Day. Of course, you can find more information on our website. That's WTVR.com. Antoinette Essa in Church Hill, CBS 6 News.
It's Antoinette. It's 6:21. We have low clouds and fog outside. That's how it looks down in Petersburg right now, where the visibility there is about a mile or about 1 to 5 miles across the metro, a little bit less, a little farther south and west. Temperatures are in the 40s currently. It's going to be another gray first half of the day at least. The potential for a few sprinkles as well. The clouds should start to break up later this afternoon. There is the potential to get a lot warmer than that 62 that we're posting, but some of that cold air may kind of hang on for a long time like it did the past couple days. 74 tomorrow. A few showers around first part of the day and then a pretty decent chance of some strong to severe thunderstorms later in the afternoon. St. Patrick's Day, a couple showers very early, but most of the day will be dry. Then we warm up into midweek. A front will come through Thursday with a shower, and that'll cool us back off towards the end of the week. Gregory.
We are inching closer to spring, aren't we, my man?
We are. That actually happens on Thursday, I believe, whatever day March 20th is.
You know, I'll tell you, it's kind of coming up on March Madness as well. Sean will have some basketball action for you coming up. It's madness.
CBS 6 Sports, sponsored by Toyota.
We began with the postseason edition of the basketball whoop around. 6 area high school teams had a chance to win a state championship at the Siegel Center this week, but only the Class 4 boys title game guaranteed one from the 804 region to be called the best in the state. The final game on Friday night had Atlee and Varina meeting for the second time in 2 weeks. The Raiders defeated the Blue Devils in the Region 4B title game. Third quarter, Varina down by 6 when Dominic Pleasance knocks down the 3. His only make from distance. Blue Devils down 29-26. A couple of minutes later, Will Hopkins forces the turnover and is rewarded on the offensive end. The and one gave Atlee a 36-27 lead. Hopkins had 17. Near the end of the third, Knox Axel hits the triple. He finished with 14 on the night. Atlee led 43-32 after 3 to the fourth. Hopkins with the wraparound pass to Matt Martin, who scored 2 of his 4. Atlee up by 17. Varina would try to make another comeback. Brian Mitchell will rebound his own miss and get the basket to finish with 11. But Atlee would bounce back behind Connor Wilcox. Rocking the rim for 2 of his game-high 18, the Raiders will make school history as they capture their first ever boys state basketball title, 66-44 the final.
I hate to be cliche, but I just couldn't believe it. I was like, we played a pretty solid first half, but they were, we were right there with like 5-point game, and I was like, somehow the third quarter, it's kind of all a haze, but like we played so well and just made a run and played just played so well in the second half and played such great defense. To only give up 44 points to run is pretty crazy.
To the college game, the A-10 quarterfinals up in D.C. VCU and St. Bonaventure, the rubber match after each team won at home in the regular season. First half, Luke Bamboyer with the slam, then Jack Clark knocks down the 3 as he led the Rams with 17. St. Bonaventure would bounce back. Melvin Council Jr., the drive in the bucket, a game-high 19, but VCU was up 10 at the half. Second half, more from the Rams. Joe Bamisil, the former Monacan standout, the layup for 2 of his 13, but how about the game for the former St. Chris standout Brandon Jennings? 12 points, a career high in 15 minutes. VCU rolls into the semifinals 76-59. The Rams bench outscored the Bonnies 30-5 in the win.
You know, the key in these tournaments is just surviving and advancing and trying to refocus and get ready for the next one. But we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game for us.
It's all about the 5 guys on the court and just the team corral and just playing with the guys next to you and just following your coaches. So really, it's a bigger stage, but we know that it's basketball at the end of the day.
From the women's game, Randolph-Macon looking to reach the Elite Eight as they play Gettysburg in the Division III tournament. Macon trailed 25-19 at the break-in in the third. Katrin Kagi will try to get the Yellow Jackets going glass with the jumper, her only basket. Macon down by 4. About a minute to go in the third. Jamison Mott left open, gets the friendly home bounce on the 3. One of 3 triples on the night for her. Macon trailed 39-32 after 3 to the 4th. Macon looking to stay close. Marissa Ziegler gets the friendly rims at Gettysburg for 2 of her 13. The Yellow Jackets down by 7, but Gettysburg would have a response from A.B. Holsinger. 2 of her 12 as she was one of 3 players in double figures. Randolph-Macon falls 56-49 to end their season at 29-2. Staying with the ladies, Virginia State back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018 as they face Edinburgh in the first round. First quarter, Amisha Miller for the Trojans with the wide open look. VSU down 7 after 1. Second quarter, the home team would get going behind Rachel Manfredo. 2 of her 14 as VSU trailed 41-26 at the break and would fall 80-68, ending their season at 23-7. Also, Hampton-Sydney's men fell in the Division III 16 round of Redlands out of California, 83-72. That's the latest from the Toyota Sports Desk.
This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
We're learning more about the response from Richmond officials as the city's initial findings on January's water crisis. They've rolled out what recently obtained emails show and how Mayor Danny Avula is responding to them. Thanking some of Vietnam's unsung heroes. A sneak peek of my latest I Have a Story on the women known as the Donut Dollies and the role they played in helping soldiers during the war. And all is calm on the horizon for now. But for some storms brewing later in the weekend, Michael Aldrin Stone will give us the forecast like only he can. As a reference to Buzz Aldrin.
Yes.
Right? The astronaut, the second man on the moon.
Supposedly. I mean the reference, not the fact that he was second.
I've got a story about Buzz Aldrin. We'll get to it a little bit later.
You're such a tease.
Yeah, of course. That's what they call me. The big tease. That was my in high school and college. But it's a great story. So hopefully we can get to that a little bit later.
Yes. Well, Dino, today we're still going to have kind of a gray day, especially for the first half. But we have some better hopes for some sun later on today. That's how it looks at the airport right now, where we have a little bit of low cloudiness and fog. And in some areas, we have a little bit of drizzle or a few sprinkles. Nothing that's going to ruin the day by any means, but you may have just a sprinkle or 2 in your travels, especially the first half of the day today. Outside currently, we have temperatures in the low to mid 40s, but these are the visibilities in the fog currently. We have some spots near or below a mile, especially from the Tri-Cities and points southward, so do be careful driving around. This morning, a lot of cloud cover continues across the region. These clouds will break up a little bit more as the day progresses. We're watching a warm front to come up from the south, and exactly how far north that front gets will dictate how much sun we get and how warm it gets. For right now, we're going to go on the cool side in the metro with temperatures in the low and mid 60s by later on today. If that front goes farther north and we get into some sunshine, it may be significantly warmer, but based on the past couple days, I think shooting towards the cooler end of things is actually probably a little bit safer. But for tomorrow, we're going to have some showers and storms around, especially later in the day, and some of those could be strong to severe. We'll talk about that coming up in your hour-by-hour forecast in just a little bit. Greg.
Michael, thanks so much. It's 6:33 right now. The state official in charge of our drinking water says the findings released by the city of Richmond regarding the recent water crisis don't make sense to him. That's according to new documents obtained by investigative reporter Tyler Lane. He tells us what he is learning and questions the mayor.
New emails obtained by CBS 6 through a public records request show how officials who regulate Richmond's water system were reacting as the city rolled out the findings of its investigation into the water crisis. On February 14th, Virginia's drinking water chief, Dwayne Roadcap, sent this email to staff with the Environmental Protection Agency. He was responding to the city's preliminary report, which was done by consultants with HNTB, and a press conference held by Mayor Danny Anthony Avula and DPU Director Scott Morris. In it, he seemed perplexed by an answer that Morris gave to a question from Melissa Hippolyte when she asked why nobody turned on a generator when the power went out at the water treatment plant on January 6th.
Do you think, or would you recommend that staff have activated generators immediately upon the loss of power?
I believe they took the proper procedures in trying to restore power.
But RoadCap states in his email, Scott Morris says that staff followed proper protocols and didn't need to activate backup generators. This thinking on the surface does not make sense to me. When would the backup generators ever be needed if not for a complete power outage? Renee Bryan, an enforcement official with the EPA, appeared to agree. She responded saying, I am also confused about the comment regarding the appropriate time to use a generator. Now, a couple weeks later, a more comprehensive follow-up report released by the city stated the decision to not turn on the backup generator was a prudent course of action because staff were focused on restoring the primary power source. However, a trained electrician was not on site to complete that transfer in a timely manner and prevent the crisis. And going back to RoadCap's email, he goes on further to say the primary cause of the water crisis is people-process issues, including lack of leadership and failure to make good decisions, much more so than an equipment issue. I asked Mayor Avula about that today.
We know that there was a leadership changeover at DPU. I'm wondering if you would agree with Mr. RoadCap that this really does boil down to a leadership failure and bad decision-making.
You know, I think I've been pretty clear from the beginning, and I think that all of the studies have shown, I haven't read the VDH one, but I think the studies have shown that it was a combination of a mechanical failure, right? Power outage led to the failure in the automatic transfer switch. And then there was a people and process part of this too, right? Like making sure that we were practicing our emergency response. Like I think there are clear indications from the investigation that we did that there are ways that we can improve that. I think it is only a partial story to not recognize that there was a machine system failure that initiated this event, and that there was a people process part of it as well.
The Virginia Department of Health is also still conducting its own investigation into the water crisis, which will analyze root causes, what should have happened during this emergency, and capital investments. That's expected to be released in April. Reporting in Richmond, I'm Tyler Lane, CBS 6 News.
They might just be the bravest group of women you've never heard about. In a preview of my latest I Have a Story, I'd like to tell you about the hundreds of volunteers with the Red Cross who flew into a war zone to help troops fighting far from home. More than 600 women known as Donut Dollies signed up to serve during the Vietnam War. The women with the funny nickname would spend 1 year in the country helping the soldiers and Marines just forget about war for a little bit. The women would be flown to forward bases to meet with the troops. The volunteers would lend an ear, organize games, and serve smiles and a slice of home to the fighting men. The Donut Dollies weren't far from the front lines, and 3 of them died during the war. Now their story is the subject of a new documentary by Richmond producer Libby Hegvik. Libby says the Donut Dollies need to be remembered for their service.
Libby, who were the Donut Dollies, and do you think most Americans know who they were?
The Donut Dollies were a group, Donut Dollies being a nickname, but because of the women who did serve donuts on the front lines in World War II. But they were a group who volunteered with the Red Cross, through the Red Cross, to go to Vietnam and to live there for a year and to uplift the morale of the troops. And not only do I think most people don't know, I know most people don't know about the Donut Dollies. The Donut Dollies really did something unique, and they were there and people don't know their story.
Coming up in my I Have a Story next hour, find out how the volunteers are finally getting their chance to shine 50+ years later. See my I Have a Story in our next hour. It is 6:38 right now. Time to bust out the shin guards and vuvuzelas because we are now just 1 week away from opening night for the Richmond Kickers at City Stadium. They'll be squaring off with AV Alta FC at 6 p.m., so make sure to snag your tickets. And I know here's one guy who has a vast collection of vuvuzelas right here, Mike Stone.
Lots of shin guards, because you kick a lot. So we have 20 days, or roughly halfway through a second fortnight from now, until the opening day at the Squirrels there.
A fortnight. You don't work that into your forecast.
And we're not talking about the game either. We have low clouds and fog across the area this morning. It's a little bit sun later today, and tomorrow could be rather stormy. We'll chat about that after the break.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. It's 6:39, where it's a rather warm for this place this time of year. St. Paul, Minnesota. Come on back. Mike's forecast. What we've got, maybe some 70s in the forecast. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, 6:41 right now. We're zooming through the show, man.
We are. We got a lot going on across the area for today.
Yeah.
Lots of events. We have our horse front and center in the backyard because we had the Virginia Derby today, and we just got word that Antoinette and Todd Parnell have arrived at Colonial Downs, and they're going to be sprinkled liberally through our 7 o'clock hour.
They let him out of the house?
They did.
Does he have an ankle bracelet?
They do. That's what all that buzzing you hear in the background there. But hey, lots going on for today. We've got a bunch of big events here, and I want to thank Greg for dancing in the lower right-hand corner for me there. Those temperatures there are for the Richmond metro area, and if you're just joining us, I've been mentioning this morning, we're waiting on a warm front later today. If it does pass by about 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we could get close to 70 in the metro, but right now we're going to keep it on the kind of the cooler side in the low 60s with hopes that it gets warmer. Down by Colonial Downs, though, will probably be between about 65 and 70 as the clouds break up later today. But we have a lot of low cloudiness and fog, even some patchy drizzle outside right now. Our normal high is 59. We've been in the 40s and low 50s the past couple days. Sun up is at 7:20 and our sunset is at 7:17. These are the current fog visibilities. And you notice as you get here towards the metro and kind of point southward here, we have some visibilities near or below a mile with temperatures in the low and mid 40s area wide. And for our day today, a lot of cloud cover, some fog, some sprinkles around. As the day wears on, we'll start to see some of the clouds breaking up later today as that warm front slides northward. Fingers crossed that happens by about 2, 3, 4 o'clock. It may not happen, though, until late this afternoon into this evening. A couple sprinkles possible off towards the west today. And then for tomorrow, we start off dry very early. There'll be some showers well west of I-95 first part of the morning. And then as the day wears on, we'll have some batches of showers and thunderstorms tracking through the area, especially during the mid to late afternoon. And some of these storms could be strong to severe. You can see a few of these lines here coming through tomorrow evening, and then this stuff will move out of here after midnight tomorrow night. Our outlook for severe weather for tomorrow, slight risk, that's level 2 out of 5, and the potential for some damaging wind gusts and some large hail as well. And this is the tornado threat again. It's not very high, but at least we're starting to see some signs that maybe for the metro and points west and southwestward, we could get a few isolated tornadoes tomorrow. So it's going to be a very active weather day, especially in the afternoon into the evening and possibly through about the midnight hour for tomorrow night. High temperatures today, 50s near the coast, upper 50s, low 60s to the north and west, low to mid 60s in the metro, 70s towards the south. But again, if that warm front gets a little bit farther northward later today, we may be able to bring a 70-degree high up into the metro. Fingers crossed on that. Tonight, we're down into the upper 50s and low 60s, so it'll be warm overnight tonight. And high temperatures tomorrow getting into the low and mid 70s across the metro. Might get a couple showers left over early Monday morning on St. Patrick's Day, then some sunshine, a high of 62. Close to 70 Tuesday, mid 70s on Wednesday. A cold front will come through with a shower or two Thursday, and they'll bring in some 50s for the end of the week, but then some 60s next weekend. Greg.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much for the update. 6:45 right now. Congress votes to ensure there won't be a government shutdown. I'll look at what is in the new bill that passed in the Senate and how some Democrats against the passing are reacting. All right, 6:47, welcome back. The Senate votes to avoid a partial government shutdown by passing a bill that funds federal agencies until September. But as CBS News correspondent Erica Brown reports, the decision is dividing Democrats.
The yeas are 54, the nays are 46. The bill is passed.
The Senate passed a 6-month spending bill averting a partial government shutdown just hours before the midnight deadline. Senate Democrats were faced with the difficult decision to either vote to advance the Republican spending bill that pushes President Trump's agenda or risk a shutdown. Thursday, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer reversed course, announcing his support for the temporary spending bill known as a continuing resolution.
The CR is a bad bill.
But as bad as the CR is, I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option.
The bill now heads to President Trump's desk to be signed into law.
And I appreciate Senator Schumer, and I think he did the right thing. Really, I'm very impressed by that.
Some Democrats have sharply criticized support for the bill and pressured Democratic senators to vote against the measure.
This bill is to establish a slush fund for Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and it sets the stage for cutting Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security.
Congress has been unable to pass annual appropriations bills. Instead, lawmakers have been relying on short-term extensions like this one.
We're voting on yet another continuing resolution today because last year's Democrat majority pushed off full-year appropriations again and again.
The measure increases defense spending by $6 billion and cuts non-defense spending by about $13 billion. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
On a much lighter note, let's play a game, shall we? I give you a sentence for a news story. You tell me where it took place. All right, here we go. A pizza delivery was impeded by an alligator. If you guessed Iowa, wrong. But if you guess Florida, you're getting warm. We're going to tell you how a police officer helped make sure it was delivered fresh and hot. But first, here's Pause for Pets.
Good morning. Ozzy is an 8-year-old house-trained fella looking for a job as a professional lap warmer. He's adoptable from Goochland Community Cats. Ozzy likes to chase random light reflections and keep an eye on those suspicious birds from the window. You never know what they may try. He's okay with other cats, but scared of dogs. Ozzy is ready to snuggle with you, and if you're interested in adopting him, please send an email to gccatinfo@gmail.com. I'm Mike Goldberg with this morning's Pause for Pets.
Now, from CBS 6, the Weather Authority, meteorologist Mike Stone.
And welcome back. Has some low clouds and fog outside this morning. Visibility is below a mile in some locations, especially south of Richmond. Temperatures are chilly. We're in the low and mid 40s. And for a day today, a lot of cloud cover, some fog this morning, a few sprinkles. We are hoping that a warm front gets a little bit farther northward later today. That should scour out some of the clouds. We're posting some low and mid 60s for the metro. There is the potential for us to get a bit warmer if the clouds break up a little bit sooner. 74 for tomorrow. Will be windy with some showers and thunderstorms, especially later on in the day, and some of those storms could be severe. Rain gets out of here early on St. Patrick's Day. We have some nice weather into the middle part of the week as we warm back up. A shower possible Thursday, and a cold front comes through on Friday, and that cools us off just a little bit back into the low and mid 50s.
Well, keeping you busy, Mike. Thanks so much. As you know, the motto of police across the country is to protect and serve. That became kind of literal down in Florida. Get this. On Sunday, what began as a pizza delivery quickly took a hard left turn when an 8-foot gator decided to get comfy and block the customer's driveway.
And the Bradenton police officer gave the regular delivery driver a heads up about the gator. And understandably, she was a little bit scared to go around the back of the house to see. She asked if he could do it. So the officer safely got the pizza to the customer, who was just as surprised to see the gator underneath her car in the driveway. Florida wildlife officers trapped and relocated the gator to someone else's house before anyone got hurt.
The woman right there is on the. Have you seen my gator?
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, we're going to take her. We're going to take the alligator to a safe place. How about 2 doors down?
Did they tip the cop? I hope so.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
All right, listen. You know, only one thing better than the Virginia Derby: having Richmond's greatest fashion icon be part of the festivities. Our main man, Parney. Yeah.
Behold that outfit.
As Mike said, he's kind of clashing this morning.
But that's okay.
I think he might be, but he's going to clash with Antoinette. Coming up in just a few minutes. He can hear us. He can hear us.
The call is coming from